Hello, I'm Vibhavan Nayan, first year BA Honours Mass Communication at Amrita Vishwavidyapetham, Coimbatore. And today, I'll be discussing the 1.5 billion advantage, human capital, women's economic power, and growth opportunities. For a country to become developed, what are the basic requirements? It's people, yes, the human capital, and the women's economic power, which is in turn related to the human capital. We can see that in India, the population is almost 1.5 billion. India is one of the most populous countries right now, surpassing China. When the world is looking for an alternative for China, a China plus one strategy, which is the best option? Definitely India. Human capital is an asset, not a liability. And India holds a massive human capital of 1.5 billion. Human capital helps in geopolitical leverage, foreign policy, and development. How? Because the latest agreements that we have seen that India signed, including the Pax Silica, Trust, Shakti, or Special Mobility Partnership with Germany, Italy, Austria, and Denmark, all of them was possible because of what? Because India could provide the human capital, the human resources, the workforce, the labor. Now, our country has been doing a lot of initiatives in this regard. These are the initiatives, the NEP 2020, Karma Yogi, PMKVY, MNDES with Australia, Skill India program, AVJC, so many initiatives. All of these initiatives are based on what? Skill development. Skill development for the youth, for the younger generation. Because today, the world is AI driven. We are moving to a technologically driven world, a digital side. A lot of things has been happening recently. Hence, we must prepare our youngsters for the change. Though we have so many initiatives, though we have such a big, huge resource, why is India still a developing country? Because of various reasons, and some of them includes malnutrition, unemployment, gender disparity, lack of industry-ready skills. The solution? Reforms, new strategies that integrate the issues. These are some of the strategies that can be used. First, reform of 2020, NEP 2020 to include apprenticeship in high growth sectors like semiconductors, EV, green hydrogen, etc. Now, the latest agreement that India signed, Pax Silica, is based on this, the semiconductor and EV. Also, developed countries such as Germany use this model. They became developed. They converted from developing to developed. Shouldn't we adopt that? Coming to some other countries, South Korea and Japan, they used a technology where they educated their youngsters even before they were wealthy. Similarly, we should give primary education to rural sector. One of the major portion of India is rural sector. We must give them the primary education with the existing digital skills we have. Next, we must also invest in research and development because only when we research can we find new things and only then can we have new opportunities. Conversion of universities to innovation hubs. This is an idea inspired from US land grant university system. Rural infrastructure development. How? Once infrastructure is developed, we'll have access to these rural areas. And once infrastructure is being developed, it will also create or generate new job opportunities. Better healthcare. Human capital is an investment, it's an asset, and we need to save that investment. How? By better healthcare and also investing on blue economy. Now, women economic power. As of 2026, the FLFP, the female labor force participation rate in India, has shown a steady growth, 35.5%. Also, most of the job creation is by women-led MSMEs, to be precise, 89 lakh jobs, and the STEM leadership records an enrollment of almost 43%, which is the highest rate globally. What is the issue there? Even though we have such high numbers, when it comes to reality, the numbers are very small. Even in the STEM leadership, though we have a high enrollment ratio, the employment rate is very low. It's 20 to 30%. What should we do? We must invest in care economic development and mandated representation in corporate board. This is an idea inspired from Norway. Because at the end of the day, education or healthcare of women increases the income, which leads to higher household investment and nation building. With that, there is a balanced responsibility on both the sectors, the male and female sector of the society. How does that help? It creates better human capital, which is necessary for nation building. It sustains the economic growth. Our country follows the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What is that? We believe that the entire universe is a family. For a nation that believes the entire universe is a family, shouldn't our goals too be holistic? Yes. What we need today is holistic development. We need to invest in multiple sectors, whether it's tech, whether it's agriculture, whether it's MSME, whether it's rural. All of these sectors are joined together by one, and that is the human capital. Our country is agriculture sector dominated. The major labor force in our country comes from agriculture. Hence, in this AI-driven world, we need to create jobs and opportunities that interlink artificial intelligence and digital side to agriculture. What we need today is holistic development. And for that, we need the human. We need the Homo sapiens. We need the human capital. Human capital is an asset. It's a bridge to traverse this path from developing to developed nation. Thank you. Om Shanti.